So let's look at something like biofuel.
Yeah.
Why would you buy biofuel if it's more expensive than, conventional fuel? Because we're running a commercial business.
Of course. I think what going into some of these new fuels is allowing us to do is to look at values beyond just the emission reductions. One of the things, for example, that we're seeing is quite a bit more stable market when it comes to biofuels, which is allowing us, for example, to provide a much more stable price than what we would have with traditional bunker. So if you as a customer have just gone through COVID with a quite turbulent rate setup, what we can do with something like biofuels is to help stabilize that quite a bit more. We're able to secure longer term prices and start cleaning up some of the messy or more complicated aspects of shipping, for example.
A lot of these technologies are in their infancies. They're constantly being developed right now. Why jump on something that may be on an experimental stage? Why not wait till someone has fully developed the technology and has a final product?
I think this really comes down to demand creating supply. Someone is going to have to take that first step. If everyone waits, nothing will happen. And of course, there's a risk involved with it. No one who's a first mover in anything knows everything, has all the answers. So there is some risk involved. But someone with the means to take those first steps and really enable that scale later on has to step up to the plate and take that first swing. And I think one of the things we see, for example, on that enabling those scaling capabilities is if you look at inland. Someone who's going to make those first investments on electrical trucking is going to push a supply for charging infrastructure. And once you have the infrastructure, it's not just you that can use it. That can help others to scale those solutions up later on down the line.
That this is something that could affect, the relationship with investors.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so this is, of course, a trend that we've seen for quite a long time with ESG kind of under the surface bubbling in conversations around how does this impact investors. And we've actually, over the last couple of years, seen some very tangible trends on the direction that this is going. So if you just look back to 2016 up till around 2021, 2020, you start to see that this market has been growing 50%, almost not year on year, but between that time period in terms of how much is being invested. That means that in 2021, it was around about a third of investments that were being made, which had some relation to ESG, whether that is investments in windmills or in companies that have a strong sustainability agenda. It's becoming bigger. And that's forecasted to continue to grow up to around $50 trillion by the time we get to 2025. So this really is a massively growing market and something that you cannot ignore if you have a larger investment portfolio.
What happens if you don't do anything right now?
Will be too late. The very short answer to that question is it will be too late. If you look at a lot of the ambitious decarbonization agendas, for example, where decarbonization is expected by 2040 or by 2050 even, without taking those first steps now, you will never get there. You cannot wait until 2039 if you need to decarbonize by 2040.